Welcome back to Sunrise at Sea right here on CTV, and wherever you're watching us from, either on your Star Times or Go TV or free-to-air decoder, or maybe you're streaming live on our Facebook page, and that's at CTV Uganda, or on our website at www.ctv.co.ug. I hope that you are having a magnificent and wonderful time with us right here. Well, the conversation does continue on our views, and for this segment of our views, we are going to be discussing something that absolutely riled me up yesterday when I found out about this. And of course, in studio with me, Sandra Kopp, Shivana Uma. We are back, ladies. How you doing?
We are well.
Exactly. I mean, the first segment was rather heated up. I mean, shoes were about to start flying, but let's move on. Well, I found out that a federal high court in Abuja has dismissed a suit by the Nigerian Bar Association seeking to invalidate some provisions in the Nigeria Police Force regulations, which forbid unmarried female police officers from getting pregnant. Well, this is because in January 26th January 2021, a female officer by the name Omola Olajide, a female police officer, was fired for getting pregnant outside wedlock. So the Nigerian Bar Association tried to have this clause removed from the Nigeria Police Force regulations, because in the regulations it clearly states that if an unmarried woman, keyword being unmarried woman, gets pregnant, she is going to get fired. And she's not going to be reinstated or re-enlisted until she gets approval from the Inspector General of Police. Whereas married women, this does not apply to them. They are even given, you know,
married women or men?
Married women. Married women are given maternity leave, and they're also given maternity benefits. And on the other hand, men are not subject to this regulation either, whether they're married or not. So ladies, ladies, I'd like to ask the question: is it fair, or is this a question of morality?
No, fair? It's not a question of morality, because the men have no consequences, married or not. They are not fired from this police force, are they?
No, they're not.
It's the women.
Yes.
So it's not a question of morality, if you ask me. I think it's a question of misogyny.
Or witch hunting. Are you saying they are witch hunting
women?
Yeah, they're trying to frustrate us.
If you're firing, fire them all.
All of them.
Yes. All of them, even the men.
But don't you think so Shivan,
I would say that is definitely true. I mean, if you're firing someone for getting pregnant when they are not married, then fire both the man and the woman. However, even for the woman, I know this may come off a bit harsh, but what are you doing conceiving outside wedlock? According, in my religious perspective, it would be wrong. However, for the police to come out and say that if you are unmarried and you get married on duty, then you're fired and the man is left, that is not fair. Both of you should face the consequences.
Shivan, you're hypocritical. Did you hear her statement? Although as a woman, why are you conceiving before marriage? The key word being conceiving. Because according to the Bible, honey, let me read from your script. You should not even be having sex before marriage. So for you, your problem is conceiving. Have sex, but let it be concealed.
I mean, when you get pregnant, you have had sex. So what are you doing having sex?
But you can have sex without getting pregnant. That's what you said.
But
don't conceive.
Okay.
Not do the act. That's hypocritical.
It's not hypocritical.
What
are you doing getting children and having sex outside wedlock?
Let us ease up on the word S.
I still went on to say that both the unmarried man and the unmarried woman should still pay for the same consequences.
You see, I have a problem with this, and let me expound on it.
Okay.
Because, like Shivan said, do not have relations, yes, that lead for you to conceive as a woman. Why are you doing that?
Yes.
Because you know what that depicts to me is like, for men it's okay, because even if they do or don't, they don't conceive, so it's okay.
That's why I'm saying men should also be held accountable. That is why in an organization or in a school, when a boy gets a child pregnant or a young girl pregnant, and then the girl is chased, and then the boy continues with his education, it should be that if you're saying that, okay, you've gotten pregnant, you cannot go back to school, even the boy should be sent out of school as well, so that it's a fair ground. That is what I'm trying to put across.
Well, the National Bar Association did say that such a regulation is very discriminatory, and it has actually made a lot of female officers childless because of fear of being fired. However, the Federal High Court did say the women did know that this was a regulation, especially the unmarried one. Keyword here being unmarried. If you're married, go ahead and have your children. But if you're unmarried, absolutely not, because it is stated there. I think this is a problem of not reading terms and conditions before you sign your contract. It is important to read. Because the High Court did dismiss the suit by saying they knew and they signed willingly. They were not coerced, so they knew about this regulation. So why go ahead?
Exactly.
Why go ahead and, you know,
I completely disagree. The problem is not that they didn't read the fine print. The real problem here is enacting oppressive laws against women. That is the problem. That's what we should be talking about.
I understand that, but don't you think that we are playing a part of also being problematic by signing on the dotted line when the contract clearly states that
Absolutely.
don't do it, and then you go ahead and do it?
Absolutely. We should not be doing that. This law should have been thrown out, just like the marriage and divorce bill, because it said that, well, it did not recognize adultery.
Yes.
Yes. It did not, it did not recognize polygamous marriages.
Yes. Polyamorous marriages.
Yes, because polyamory is a part of polygamy.
Yes.
Yes. So it did not recognize this for women, but it did for men. It did. It allowed men to have more than one wife, this bill. But a woman is not supposed to have more than one husband. So you can't go and enact laws that are contrary to the constitution of this country, because the constitution is the supreme law of the land.
Yes.
It says that we are all equal before the law. This particular law, or this particular bill, was saying that, you know what? No, we are not equal.
Yes.
Yes. So this is the same thing. This law should have been thrown out.
This is the thing. I don't think we should go on to cry foul when we did not say anything. Not we. Women, I think, should not go on to cry foul when they did not say anything in the initial, in the beginning of the situation. So, for instance, again, like let me just use this as an example and not anything else. You are given a contract, you are asked to read it, even asked to get a lawyer to peruse through for you. Yes, you understand that there will be consequences if you go against certain rules or regulations. Then why go ahead to sign? Why don't women learn to speak up from the beginning, as opposed to getting themselves or getting in bed with this situation and now you're crying foul after you get violated? And for me, that is where I have a problem. I think women, we need to do more to speak up for ourselves and not just let it fly and now let's debate it.
I keep telling people, be the change that you want to see. You have seen a contract, you have seen a summary of words that are not comfortable for you. You clearly see that it oppresses your rights as a woman. How about you start by you being the change? Don't sign up for that job. Let it go and then call it out.
Yes.
Call it out and say, this is wrong. I went to this job and this is what I was told and I feel that it is wrong. Then get people to side by you. But then you sign, you find yourself in a situation, then you're saying, oh, it is oppressive. No, it is not oppressive. Well, the people who maybe put it there was a way of oppressing. But hey, guess what? You're not the owner of the company. You're not heading the police. The laws are there. Laws are meant to be followed. The only thing you can do is call out the laws if you feel that they are oppressing your rights as a woman.
Yes,
but do not
and call
keep
out
quiet.
these laws.
Do not keep quiet and wait to get into trouble and then say, oh, they are oppressing, oh, it's not fair. No, the world
So
is
I want
never
to ask
fair.
the question, is it morally just to fire a unmarried pregnant woman? Let's now talk about
It's
morality.
morally just.
It is not.
It is not.
Well, I would like to give you another example of something that happened in 2021, and this happened in Italy, and this is after a female volleyball player was fired after she got pregnant. Well, 38 countries in the world, including China, the United States, the UK, and Greece, do have regulations where a woman can actually get fired when she gets pregnant.
Married or not married.
It does not matter in this situation. Whether you're married or unmarried, once you get pregnant, as long as the job comes with regulations that say that you're not supposed to, get pregnant, they can definitely fire you. However, a number of other countries around the world, about 152 countries, do have regulations in place where women can protect themselves from such discriminatory laws, including Uganda as well. Women don't get fired for being pregnant. You are allowed to go on leave, but you don't get fired. That is the thing. It also says 20% of economies worldwide, women have no legal remedies in such cases and can be fired for just getting pregnant. So ladies, it is very important to read the terms and conditions before you get yourself in a situation. But I would like to ask, in this case, we are arguing that the men are also not getting fired. But you see, this is the thing. As a policewoman, do you really want to see a pregnant traffic officer
on the road?
Does she have the, because when a woman gets pregnant, there's a lot that happens with her body.
Her decision.
There's a lot that happens with her body, and especially if you're in security, you cannot properly perform your duties to the extent that you should, because you're in a very delicate situation. And if you work yourself so hard, I mean, working in security is quite an aggressive job. You're always on your feet, you're about the place, you're quarreling with people, you're settling disputes, you understand? You're probably in the middle of a shootout. The stress can be, so much for a woman who is pregnant. I am not for firing the unmarried women, but however, I don't think it is a place for a pregnant woman.
But you see, that's not why they are firing her. They are firing her because she had a child out of wedlock. That's why they're firing her. They're not firing her because they think, oh, this is going to be so stressful or what. Then they would not fire her. They would give her maternity leave. They are firing her because she got pregnant and she's not married. That is the issue here.
Perhaps they are trying to push the moral agenda
That
here.
is condescending.
But also,
The moral agenda here.
I feel like there's a bigger issue to all this. All organizations, all over the world, can we learn to advocate for gender equality regardless of what happens? I feel like both the men and women should be presented with the same playing ground.
But
all cards on
Sivan,
the
you're shooting yourself in the foot because
I
she said.
am explaining.
No,
Listen, when we are pushing this agenda of
I am
gender
not-
equality,
I'm not only
don't you
talking
also think
about
that we
the
should look
unmarried
at it
and I'm not just
in a moral perspective? I'm just saying, don't shoot me. I'm just asking. It's not morally right to be unmarried and pregnant. Look at the devastating. This is not funny, by the way. It is not. I'm very serious. Let us look at the devastating consequences of having a child out of wedlock or being a single mother. We have seen it happen. I am a single mom. I know how difficult and how tough it can be. It is not the right way to raise a child. The best way to raise a child is in a home. And I know how, even though it may come off as misogynistic and sexist, but let's look at the bigger picture here because it is the right thing to do. However, this conversation will go on and on and on until the cows come home. But let me read some comments that we had the viewer added to this conversation, and I took to our social media on Twitter and I asked, and I did give the story, and then I asked, was this lawful or is it just? Is it lawful and is it just? And then Vati Boy went on to say, I think they should not be fired but rather be given some time off for a maternity break. So shouldn't people produce just because they are police officers? No. They should be married first. Hey. Moving on, Musimenta Javita did say, it is just unfair. You mean women don't have a right to get pregnant? Women have a right to get pregnant, not just when they're unmarried. And that's the law says.
Also read the terms and conditions. If the law says when you get pregnant,
so
Well,
wicked,
that is
Sarah.
all that I had. Well, that is all that we had for you on this segment of Our Views. But keep watching Sunrise and see, we'll be right back. It's always a great time right here on Sunrise at Sea from the ladies and I hope that you had a phenomenal time with us today. I hope that you were able to pick some tips and tricks on how to better prepare your children for the future, or even prepare yourself. I mean, some of us as adults are still, you know, swimming and dreaming and living in these fairy tales that we were sold. Wake up and smell the coffee, like how Sandra Cope always says. Take a few tips, and if you're doing something and it's not working out for you, how about you start trying other ways or other means, or trying out other methods? Well, that is all we had for you on this segment of Sunrise at Sea, but we'll be back again tomorrow, same time, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Conversations still continue on our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and if you're just tuning in right now, you can head on to our YouTube channel, and that is at CTV Uganda, and you can rewatch the whole episode. Well, until next time, until tomorrow, be blessed, follow SOPs. Don't forget to be kind today. Have a great day.